time to talk matters rugby, and we're going to look at what is happening as far as National 7 circuit is concerned. As we speak right now, all teams are in Mombasa for the third leg of the circuit in the name of Driftwood 7. So far, KCB and Strathmore Leos are on top of the standings, getting tied because each one of them has won first leg in Kabeberi and second leg in Christie 7's respectively. I'm getting joined by not an unfamiliar person on this particular platform. He's been here before several times. Mwalimu Kombo, who is Kenya Rugby Union Director of Youth Development, and also Robert is still with us. Good to see you, Mwalimu. How are you doing?
No, I'm okay.
Glad to be back on the show.
Thank you, thank you.
The last time we were together was when you were preparing to go to, was it Vancouver?
Oh, yeah.
How was Canada?
No, it was okay. The weather was not conducive for the boys. Yeah, but they did play well, though they didn't win. But the place was okay, and we played, and we didn't get the results that we wanted. But now it's all about the game. You know, you play today, you lose, and you go back to the drawing board. Now you go and relook again. Where did I go wrong? So they came back, and now they are preparing for the next circuit, which is the last one in LA. And I hope things will be okay. They're also preparing to go to Birmingham for Commonwealth Games, and I hope they'll be able to do well.
The team has not done very well since Damian McGrath took over from Innocent Simiyu, and you know, as Kenyans, we are used to making noises whenever things are not happening right, because some rugby fans are saying, how come team is not performing very well, yet new coach has taken over? It doesn't need to be, quick results?
Yeah, when it comes to the game, it's progressive. You build from where you've left. And when we saw how the team played in Paris and London, you could be able to see the scores and how the boys were playing. The margin was very minimal. And that's when you look at the graph. How we losing this game? How are we winning this game? So when the graph is okay and there's some added value in what you are doing, it's always important, and you find that when it comes to the coaching, the structure, it's okay. So you just go and improve and execute on the best way. And also you look at the weakness, where is our strength, where our weakness. Then you go and you go and work on you improve on your weakness. Then you also work to maintain your strength. And you'll always find the going is fine. So he came in, and he had a very little opportunity because he had just arrived, and the players were boarding the plane to London, and the training they had before the game, you could be able to see that there was quite a number of changes within the team. And also, normally when it happens to our games, you remember that most of the players whom we normally play, they are normally selected during the 7th circuit. And now they have the selectors who pick the best players. Now, like we've seen about the local circuit, now it's going on. There are players whom the coaches have never seen, but now out of this they play, the coaches now is coming to put them in the structure. So now this particular coach now, after when before the next circuit now begins, 7 series begins, now he'll be able to have these coaches, he'll put them in the camp, he'll shape them up, and now we'll have the next crop of players. And I know that during the World Cup, we'll be able to see a different team. Come next year, we'll be able to see a different team, and the way they'll be playing, in fact, Kenyans will be quite surprised. I remember when the COVID came in, the players who end up playing were selected, and they went and represented our country. But this time round now, our major platform for selection of these players has been the local 7th circuit, and
it was a big factor for our performance in the series.
Oh yeah, it's true, because normally this 7th circuit is once played. Now that's when the coaches now monitor the strength of the players, and they look at those qualities, the profile of the players and how they are playing. And now they come up and say, now these are the right players to go and represent the country in the 7th circuit, because they'll match that strength of the World Series. Kenya has always done well, but now this time round we'll be back, I know. It's just unfortunate, the COVID affected, there was no local league, but now everything is back, it's normal, and we're playing the 7th circuit now in the 3rd series. I think things will be okay.
Earlier on, we were talking about, the new comments by Damian McGrath, the coach for the National Rugby 7's team, saying that you will have to prove that you got what it takes to be included in the team regardless of your name. Positive comments?
I think those are positive comments. I think it's coming from, a scenario where it's all about hard work. What you put in is what you get, and I think it's going on for that hard work. Yes, in sports, we look at what you have done before, but I think also when he's going to name his squad, he's going to see who is going to be really, who has been working hard in this, who has been working hard in the circuit, and who has been performing well, and also what difference can you bring onto the team. I think that is what the coach is going for, because with the Commonwealth Games, it's a closed event. You're going there for 1 month. It's a closed event. So you have got to get players who are going to be in that closed scenario, and what they are concentrating about is the rugby. And those are the guys who can bring you good results.
Inclusion of William Baka in the squad, is training with the team, and Collins Injera has also proved his worth during, Christy 7's with his club. And you remember that joke of him playing golf? Yes. And do you think that will go a long way in giving the young lads that much needed motivation?
I think experience also it plays a huge factor in the team, because Collins Injera, William Baka, these are players who have been there before. They have played in this tournament. They have played in big tournaments. So they know how to maneuver in those tournaments, and they'll help the young lads also in that tournament. And also with this tournament, so you'll see, you need also those calming influence, because you're going into that, you're meeting different people playing. So you need those calming influences. And also, with the Collins Injera also, he said age is not a factor. It's all about what you can do on the field of play.
And strength and conditioning coach Kimani now also coming in through. Sports or rugby is not about playing, having a good coach who will give you techniques. Behind the scenes also is key to the performance of the team.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to the game, like what we play rugby, 7th circuit, strength and conditioning. When it's perfect, you've covered 70% of what you require in the game, because now it involves running and tracking the ball and tearing into the breakdowns. You are perfect, you are strong. And remember when Kenya won the Singapore 7's, all teams were complaining about the breakdowns. They didn't want to come into contact with Kenya because of the strength and conditioning. The boys were really conditioned, and they were playing well, and they were all round. They were all at that particular 90% to 100% level. And once you play like that, and you are in that particular condition well, you'll always play and win, because that speed is there, the strength is there. What else do you want? Just about the skills. What McGregor, you said, and just about Kenyans, what is lacking here is the skills, and we are going to impact that skills. And Kimani is back for strength and conditioning, so the circuit will be complete, because that's the key areas that the new coach has identified with our national team. And we also have young players who are coming up, like Amon Omalo, who is playing for Homeboys, and he's the one who took us to World Cup in Uganda. He was exceptional, and when people wondered where the teams wondered where this guy had come in, because he was not involved in the first matches. But as we progressed, when things were becoming tough, he was brought in, and he really saved us. And that was the tactic of the coach, just to bring him later in the game, and he saved us, and we qualified for the World Cup. And World Cup in Cape Town in September, I know we'll be able to do well. And we saw Injera also, the way you are saying, he's playing well, and you saw in Curry Cup, actually, he was outstanding, and we said what coach had told him to go and do in the pitch, and that's what he went and did. And that tells us the quality of the talents that our country has. It has enormous talent. It's just a matter of tapping and harnessing them in the right structure, and things will be okay. And that's what we're doing in development. Remember, last weekend, the curtain raiser, we brought in the girls, because we know that's where the big thing, the next big thing in Kenyan rugby, it's about the women rugby. And we want to start it early. We didn't play well in Tunisia. We lost matches. But now we've gone back to the drawing board. We say now, can we start preparing early for the next World Cup is coming up in 2025. Also, Olympic is coming up in 2024. And now we need these girls to have a huge pool of talented players playing together. And that's why we had a curtain raiser for under 18 young girls playing here in Nairobi. But these players who have been tapped across the country. And people were happy to see how they were playing, because we want to put our structure, we're looking at our programs, we put them in the right place, so that the rugby can progress and will be safe in future.
Talking about Curry Cup, it's good that you have brought it up. We played, I think we got into the competition, to the late stages of the competition, but we played some big matches, winning against Leopards, winning also against the defending champion Elephants here in Nairobi. It was a big tournament for the Simbas and also for Kenya Rugby.
Yeah, because we saw that what we are lacking is about the competition and quality competition, playing against the world-class players, and those in Africa they are found within in South Africa, and South Africa is just closer here. So our chairman went in and talked with the SARU chairman and Mark Alexander, and they agreed and said, fine, we can join, because this is a time now that we'll be able to well make our rugby grow. And once we play more games together, I think the African rugby will be in the safe hands, because now if each country is playing a competitive rugby, I think that will be good for them, because they have been covering. You see, now they were playing in Super Rugby.
Yes.
And when the COVID came in, they were knocked out, and now they've gone to the Northern Hemisphere. And you find that during the select, during the local select players for the Currie Cup, they invited Kenya, and Kenya played 3 matches in South Africa. One they played against select, and they went to Cape Town, Stellenbosch, where they played a tournament against Brazil, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Then they went again to Bloemfontein. They played against the BSL of Barcelona. So I think that was good, and that's when now we were invited to confirm to play in the Currie Cup. And we won 3 matches. Winning Currie Cup, like beating the Elephants, the champion, the defending champion, is a big plus for them. And that's when you look at the Pumas of the Argentina, that's where they started. They came in and were involved in the Currie Cup.
Yes.
They played for quite a number, and a number of years. They went on and won, and now they were included now into the championship.
Yes.
And the Pumas, you see now their gap between them and the Springboks is very close. And if Kenya will go like that, we now entered into that particular Currie Cup. We play like for the next 10 years. We will be very close to the Springboks.
This first one was a bit of invitation. Also from next season, we are going to see more of Kenya Simbas in the Currie Cup.
Oh yeah, because I think that's what the chairman has decided, and they said now Kenya is going to appear in the fixture. So every year Simbas will be playing.
Yes.
And probably, if all goes well, we'll have more matches here in Nairobi.
Yes.
And that's why they are saying, instead of playing like what we used to do in the past, where they were playing in Photocom and they're only playing in South Africa, they are bringing more matches in Nairobi. And probably now, as we play in Nairobi, the chairman now probably we can sit down as a board and decide, let the other games now go to Kisumu, let the other one be played in Mombasa and Nakuru, so that we spread and let the people now feel the Currie Cup across the country, like what's happening in South Africa, where the team is covering quite a long distance to go and play in South Africa.
Well, let's talk about the National 7 circuit. Teams are in Mombasa for Driftwood 7's. What's your assessment about the first 2 legs in Kabeberi and Christie 7's?
Well, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting, because now this is something that we had not seen, and the way the teams are playing and the way they are prepared. You could be able to see a young, new crop of players coming up, and good surprise is Strathmore, the way they are playing. And they went to the Kenya Cup semi-finals, and now they have gone to the finals twice against KCB. So we've seen new players playing, and quite a number of them. They are also from other teams. We can be able to see, like Amon Omalo now, who is playing for top scorer, who is playing for Homeboys. Yeah, he's exceptional player. So these are some of the people that we had not seen, but now we're seeing them being played. So whenever this tournament is organized, we can be able to judge where we are and where our 7's rugby is, and also the teams, how they are playing, and the coaches also. Because these coaches have also undergone the program, development program. They have done the courses. So now this is the time now. Assessment is also done for the coaches in their programs, and also the teams playing. And probably by the fifth circuit, I think now we'll be able to know how the table is standing, and we'll be able now to know the project might likely to be the eventual win of the local 7th circuit.
It looks like it is something that had been missed due to COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, and I think last year it did not take place due to the scout, but now happening this year. And I think from Driftwood 7's it will be heading to
Dala
7's Nakuru, Dala 7's in Kisumu.
Yes.
How is the future looking like?
No, well, it's okay, because now traditionally these clubs have been hosting the tournament, and when you look now, the Ingo, Ingo is the home ground. That's the Bulls, because now it will go to Dal and then Pritsloo. Then we'll finish with Kakamega. Kakamega was pushed ahead because of the Currie Cup. Yes. So the last 3 will be played in Western Kenya. And that's good for the Ingo, because that's where huge followers of this particular game, and the players, actually, most of them, they originate from that particular place. So it will be exciting. It will be very exciting to play there, and also the new Kenyatta Stadium for Dallas 7's.
Yes.
It's be good.
Initially, there have been reports that no prize money for the ultimate winner for National 7 circuit. This time round, what is Kenya Rugby Union doing to partner with other like-minded corporates to ensure that they come on board to sponsor?
Well, they are sponsors for the 7th circuit, and I hope you've seen after Tasker, who is part of the sponsor. Have also BetSafe and other small sponsors also on board, and they are supporting. But all in all, we corporates. It's good that happy that corporates come up and join with the Kenya Rugby, because we need this game to grow, and once we have this game grow, companies will get value of what their investment is, because rugby is growing very fast, it's exciting, it has many fans. Just look like Curry Cup. We had quite a number of, the stadium was full. And even the South Africa information came out that the Nairobi series had the biggest population fan base.
Yes.
So they are looking at it as one of the marketing strategy, and probably you'll see if we keep on having more fans here, then they might prefer even more matches be played here. Because if we have the fans, we have the sponsors who are coming up to sponsor the game, it's even becoming exciting.
Yes.
So Simba is also now given out their till number. People need to contribute. We are looking for 10 million for Simbas to travel to play for World Cup. That's starting in 1st July. That's in Marseille in France. And Zimbabwe is already there. They are training, but now we want Kenya guys to come up and support.
What is
Kenya,
the till number?
50 million. I think I'll be able to post it before the end of the show. Yeah.
And like in Kenya Cup, where it's normally a hotly contested battle between KCB and Cabras, in circuit, it looks like, Strathmore Leos, the university side, is also sneaking in through. Does that magnify the growth of the game? Because if we have a university side getting in to give others competition.
Yeah, well, it's good, because now when you look at in South Africa, we have the Varsity Cup, and most of these big players have come through the Varsity Cup, like Pollard. Most of 3/4 of the world, the world champion players, they have come through the Varsity Cup. So I think it's good, and that's a new front where, because we have guys who are coming from high school and they are joining this university. So if they get a place where they can play rugby, some of these universities are in the interior. And these players want to enhance their talent, because they have graduated like from Muri Mushiri High School, from Kamega High School. They have gone to universities like Inrongo, they have gone to Kisii, Chuka, Meru. So if these universities do have the rugby teams, and that's actually we are doing, because we are doing the trainings, the T&D programs, and I think it's part of my docket where we've involved the universities, coaches, with players, they're also training them, so that they can be able, this game can be played at the universities. And we also have a league called Nationwide League, which is run by KRU, the fixture of Kenya Rugby Union. So this particular fixture, we've included all the universities, because this we know where they're from, and that's a good competition is coming. We've seen Black Blood, we've seen Strathmore, we have seen most. I think that's good for the game of for the Kenyan rugby, because we do have players from high school and they want to enhance their tournament, so we develop their talent from there. And some are picked now from the university. Once they graduate, they are now picked by some of the clubs. Still, we do have some of the clubs that sponsor the students. I've seen a good program with the Oilers. Yes. They do play for Oilers, but they sponsor the students to some of the neighboring universities like Egerton University. Yeah. And it's also good for the players to enhance their talent and also playing rugby for the clubs.
We'll give you a chance to look for the till number as we give the people the results of day one, as that has been happening since 2 p.m. So far, we saw Homeboys beating Impala by 10 to 5 there. And the Strathmore Leos beat Mombasa RFC 29-0. Cabras leading Daystar Falcons 28-0. And then KCB also beat Jumia Pays South Coast Pirates 51-0. Harlequins from Nakuru, Kenya Harlequins, beat Nakuru 17-0. Then Menengai Oilers managed to win against Black Blood by 26-0. Mwamba defeating Nondis 14-0, and then Western Bulls also beating Zetek Oaks narrowly there 12-7. Impala also in the second round here defeating Mombasa 21-0. Homeboys have managed a win there against the champions there, Strathmore Leos, by 17-14. Then Cabras winning against the South Coast Pirates 22-5. KCB winning against Daystar Falcons 15-0. And then Black Blood 31-0, also losing to Harlequin. And some of the matches that we are waiting to get the results so far, we've got Menengai Oilers versus Nakuru, and then Mwamba versus Zetek Oaks. Western Bulls versus Nondis has actually kicked off so far, and then at 20 minutes to 3, we'll be getting Homeboys versus Mombasa, and then Strathmore Leos will finish the day there with the Impala. Daystar will play Jumia at 3:20, and also KCB and Cabras at 40 minutes to 4. At 4 p.m. will be Nakuru versus Black Blood, and then Menengai Oilers versus Harlequin, Nondis versus Zetek Oaks, and then we'll finish day 1 with the Western Bulls versus Mwamba at 5 p.m.
Of course, those are the updates coming in from Mombasa, where a third leg of National 7 Circuit, the Driftwood 7's, is currently underway as the National 7 Circuit continues with culmination slated for Kakamega in Western during the final leg. Of course, it will head to Dallas 7's in Kisumu, Prinsloo in Nakuru before it goes to Catch 7's, which is the inaugural edition having been incorporated into the National 7 Circuit. But as Mwalimu Kombo was talking to us earlier with regard to National 15's rugby team, Simbas heading to Rugby World Cup in South Africa. Is it in South Africa or in France?
In France,
in
yeah.
France,
In Paris,
it's
yes.
Sevens which will,
with Cape Town inside, will be in Cape
take
Town
place in World Cup
in
slated
September.
for Cape Town. Of course,
Yeah.
you can visit a page called Simbas to Rugby World Cup, Mchanga there. Then you can donate whatever you can afford to help our lads play in this particular tournament, which is a phenomenal competition, and it will be a privilege for our very own taking part. Of course, it's a qualifying stage, and probably they stand a chance of making it through if you raise whatever you can raise to help in that particular cause. So far, 6,400 has been contributed out of 10 million Kenyan shillings, and you can as well not be left behind and visit the page Simbas to Rugby World Cup, Mchanga there, contribute whatever you can, and you will select, of course, a donation method if it's M-Pesa, Airtel, Equitel, Paybill, Visa, and Tcash.
Yeah.
And contribute whatever you can.
Oh, sure. Just an app, just open there, mchanga.africa, fundraising, 563009.
So it's an application
you
can download from the Play Store.
Oh, yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
can get it, yeah.
I think we will do it right away from
Yes.
this particular program. But now as we wind up, let's talk about, the preparation so far in terms of the 7's have already qualified for World Cup in South Africa. So it's only the 15, the Simbas.
Yeah. Now the Simbas are going, they play in quarters against Uganda. Then if they win, they might meet either Senegal or Algeria. Then in the final, they can either meet Namibia or Zimbabwe. Of course, they are in a different line. So they are taking a different path.
It's a manageable journey.
Yeah, it's a manageable, and the way the boys have played here the last 2 weekends, I think they have just turned out, being in South Africa, they have just turned out to be quality players, and they can manage. I'm seeing this time around, Simbas will be able to manage, and it was a good thing for us to be in South Africa for the Currie Cup. Because the way they're executing the breakdowns, the lineouts, the set pieces, just perfect, and all the players are psyched, and they are playing good rugby, and that's what we want to achieve. And so it's a motivating factor for the young guys who also wants to feature in the future for Simbas.
I saw that game against Leopards at RFA grounds where the likes of Darwin Kids. It's a squad that consists of both youth and experience. Collins Injera, I think, played during the last game, but generally it's a squad that you got confidence in.
Yeah, it's like the integration, the way the coach had integrated the young guys, and the most experienced guys. And when you look at these players, the way they have been, you find that most of them they are new guys who've just joined the national team, who are earning their first cap, the third cap. most of them have earned less than 10 caps for the national team.
Yes.
And I think that's good because now once you start putting them in that particular program, that tells us the future for our rugby. The next 5 years, the next World Cup 2027, it will just be a walk. It will be very easy because they have played this, they have gained this experience, they can be able to move on the next level. Even the last World Cup, we were very close and we went to repechage. We lost Namibia and went to repechage.
Yes.
And repechage, we learned something out of it. This time round, probably the players might not want to go to repechage again. They want to qualify direct. But still, number 2 will have a chance again to go and play to work out for qualification through the repechage. But sometimes the repechage is because of, it can be tricky because you are meeting the players who are playing in probably in European League, some are playing in American League, some are playing in Australian, New Zealand League, and they are exceptional, they are professional players.
Well, talking about outside rugby also, it is a big night in South Africa today for the United Rugby Championship. The Stormers versus the Bulls is going on tonight, and when this championship started, no one thought it was going to be an all South African final.
Oh yeah, because it's interesting journey, and probably it might be painful for the New Zealanders because when this South African had played in that league Super Rugby for 24 years.
Yes.
And when COVID came, they were knocked out by the New Zealand, where they say we want to play rugby, and COVID in South Africa, it might take many, because no one knew the direction the COVID will take. So they kicked out the South African team and they formed their own Australian Super Rugby, where they played against the neighboring Australia, and then they asked the Oceania team also to form a team, and they drove to come and play in the Super Rugby. And probably the way they are playing, they didn't get when you look at the Super Rugby this time around, they didn't get a good competition from my observation.
Yes.
As initially it was with the South African team, the franchise from South Africa.
Yeah.
But now they went to the Northern Hemisphere and they formed. It used to be for 40, is what called. But now you see now what went on. They changed it to United Rugby Championship.
Yes.
And these are teams from Italy, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. And the way it worked out, the 2 South African teams went up, and the fourth South African were among the top 8, and they have qualified for European Champions League. So, having made the Irish team, Stormers made Sharks at the quarters, and yes. I personally I saw that Bulls could be able to lose to Sharks, because Sharks, actually, when you look at the crops, their most players were Springbok players, but they were knocked out, and I realized now they were going now to meet Leicester, who had gone to European Championship final and lost to him from France. But now here, what happens was Bulls won that game, and now also Stormers won against Edinburgh. And then in the semis they won against Ulster. But that was a tough match for them. So it's like the rugby now this was a European tournament, now it's come down to South Africa.
Back to South Africa.
So it's a big thing actually in South Africa, and the whole world now is focused. Even the European nations are focused now on South Africa.
Because the last time I'm seeing here, the last time it was the Bulls who defeated but this one was
lost twice,
they were playing their Super Rugby in the final in South Africa. But this time round, this is a European Championship in South Africa. So any team can get a chance to go with this. Who do you fancy to be the favorite for this final?
Well, when I see Bulls have passed through the hard way, because having won against the Sharks and Leicester, the guys who had gone to European Championship finals, it's not easy. But when you look at the way the Stormer is coming up, and with the young players, the likes of Roos and Etla, they are playing, especially number 8. That's Aru. It's playing a good rugby, and I foresee it be very, very close. This particular match, but the Bulls might have an upper hand. Though the way Sharks is playing now, Sharks playing good rugby. But the way Bulls has maneuvered through the hard way, Bulls might take it.
Wow, it's been Mwalimu Kombo, the director for Kenya Rugby Union in charge of youth development, joining us this afternoon to talk about the National 7's circuit, state of rugby in the country, and what Simbas are doing to prepare for Rugby World Cup in France, and just the message of appeal that you can go to your Play Store, download the AM mchanga, application, and contribute whatever you have towards the cost to help the team qualify for Rugby World Cup in France. It's been an honor having you, Mwalimu. Thank you for coming through. All the very best.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course, the touchline continues. Don't go away. Stay tuned. We take a short commercial break, then we will be back in a few.
The Golden State Warriors with a chance to close out their 4th championship in 8 years. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins and company looking to get it done in Boston. Jason Tatum and company looking to prevent that. And there's Tatum knocking down the elbow jumper, and Boston storms out to a lead. But here comes Steph and the Warriors. Steph gets the layup there, then Warriors in transition, and it's Gary Payton II to Curry, who's relocating for the three-pointer, and now Golden State's up 24-22 in the second quarter. Andrew Wiggins missing a shot, but Draymond Green taps it out to Jordan Poole, and he just pulls on a three, just nails the shot. 15 points in 18 minutes off the bench for Poole. Gary Payton steals it here, then Jordan Poole to Andrew Wiggins for the jam. Wiggins, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks in the game. Robert Williams now swatting Steph Curry. Jason Tatum with the Euro step layup on the other end. Beautifully done. Watch it one more time as he glides right on by. Not a big night for Tatum. 13 points on 6 of 18 shooting. Golden State up by 8 at that point. Steph Curry shakes Derek White for the three-point shot. That one goes down. Later, it's Draymond Green finding Klay Thompson, cutting for the layup. Nice little pass here. And at the half, Golden State leads this thing 54-39. In the third quarter, it's Draymond Green passing and screening to Steph Curry for the three-pointer. Beautifully done and effective. Then it's Green to Curry for the deep three-pointer, and the Warriors are on fire now. They're up 22 in the third and just blowing this game open. Could Boston respond? Well, they did. Jaylen Brown drives and flips it in. Then Jason Tatum to Al Horford for the layup plus the foul. Horford, 19 points, 14 rebounds as well. He'd make the free throw that cut the lead down to 9. In the fourth, Steph Curry drives for the tough left-handed layup. That pushes the lead back to 14. In response, Jaylen Brown, corner three is money. 34 points, 7 rebounds for Brown. Big game for him, and it's close. It's 8 points, but just too much Golden State. Draymond Green gets the layup off the Klay Thompson steal. Green, a double-double in this one. 12 points and 12 rebounds. And then, for punctuation, Andrew Wiggins to Steph Curry for the three-pointer. Curry, 34 points, including 6 of 11 on threes. Obviously, Tatum heartbroken. Steph emotional after this one as well. He and Iguodala hug it out afterwards, and Steph Curry finally gets his finals MVP. The Warriors' 4th championship during this run. Your final score in this one, 103-90.
Y254. Imagine.